Hi, Kassi.
Hi, Eric.
I have beef with you.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say we have beef and
we need to hash it out.
We need to talk about it. Episode 12. So 2 weeks ago, we discussed a cathedral.
A cathedral.
You called it Notre Dame, and I did not correct you in the moment, and I felt really bad about it. And the next day I
didn't. You didn't feel bad about it. Don't lie to me and everyone else.
Yes, I did. Yes, but I felt bad after the fact.
After I pointed out the fallacy of your logic.
Either way, I told you the next day that Notre Dame is a college and Notre Dame is a cathedral.
And here's my problem, okay? For those of you listening, here's what she told me, okay? And this is the part that baffles me because I do not understand how this logic makes logical sense in her brain. She told me.
In defense, I'm sorry, before you start, in defense, I said at the beginning of the episode, I was in a weird mood.
That's true. But I don't think that excuses this logical fallacy or whatever happened here. Because here's what you told me. Okay? You said you thought, like when I said Notre Dame, you went, well, that's a college, like in your head. This is your internal monologue. You're like, that's a college. I could correct him, but that would be rude to correct him. So instead, I'm just going to let it be. And I'm like, okay, fair. But in what universe is that like, in what universe is it better to this? Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm baffled here. So I'm still like trying to put this in words. How is it?
I love that you're still this upset, even though you've known for so long.
I'm like, in what universe is it nicer to let me say it wrong for an entire podcast than to correct me once so that I can then sound like I know what I'm talking about?
If I may, I don't like correcting people in conversations. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like to do it. So I didn't correct you. It was only after I thought about it, after we were done recording, that I was like, I should have corrected him because this is a podcast and it's not just me that's going to hear it. It's, you know, 2 other people that are going to hear it.
The only consolation to it is the fact that by not correcting it, you also made it sound like you might not actually know the difference either.
Probably a lot of people are like, yeah, sure. It was only like after the fact someone else told you.
Yeah, someone else was like, you're both stupid, right? No, but like, it baffles me. And I understand the logic sort of the like, oh, in a normal conversation, you don't correct them because like, it doesn't matter. But like, it's still crazy to me that you had that part of your brain that was like, no, it's nicer to let him sound like an idiot for an hour than to correct him for a minute.
It's not that it's nicer. It's just that I didn't feel the need to correct you because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I knew what you meant. Whatever. I just don't feel the need to correct people when I know what they meant, and I am pretty sure they know what they mean, right? It was only after I thought about it that I was like, it's not just me hearing this, but then I felt bad. I was like, okay.
I don't believe you felt bad. I believe you 100% did it on purpose so that I would sound stupid, and you only told me because you wanted to clarify that you knew so that you don't sound stupid.
So that I'm not stupid.
Yeah, you have to clarify.
Well, too late, Eric.
Too late. Oh, as far as that you don't sound stupid with me? Yeah, too late.
Yeah, too late. I'm not saving anything there.
It's too late. We are halfway down the river in this canoe.
I apologize, and I am sorry that I, in the future, will correct you on the spot.
I'm going to hold you to that. I want you to correct me every single time. I want to be sick of it.
Every time I'm going to be like, hold it there.
Mid-sentence, you're like, wait a minute. No. You said that wrong.
But in light of Notre Dame, you then felt the need in a childish manner to inform me that I also say something wrong, and you never wanted to correct me either because it's nicer.
Okay. To be fair, that was not in you're spinning this poorly. This was not in a childish need of like revenge, because I'm pretty certain it was a completely unrelated conversation that we were having when this came up. And then we realized in hindsight that it's actually connected. But I just...
Pretty sure it was the same conversation, but go ahead.
It might have been the same day, but I don't think it was the same conversation.
It was only after you were done fuming that then you decided to come over in a separate conversation.
I wasn't really fuming so much as I was baffled. Like, it baffles me that you would think that it was not. It's just, we've talked about that. Anyway, no. I did point out to you, and I think I've actually pointed out, had I not pointed out to you before, or was that the first time?
No, that was the first time. That's why I felt like it was very childish and petty that you only brought this up after I brought the other
True,
thing
but
up.
you
So
don't act like you don't think it's hilarious or you're not doing it on purpose now.
I think it's really funny
Okay,
now.
so
Yes. Now that you've been upset and now that we've had a few different arguments about it, then yeah.
hey Kassi,
now it's funny to
we're
me.
gonna introduce this way, okay? In the Lord of the Rings, what species is Gimli?
He's a dwarf.
He is a dwarf. There is a W in that word.
A dwarf at the wharf.
So for context, this is something, and I don't know why exactly, but it's something that's always bothered me. I don't like when people say dwarf because the species, it's dwarf with a W, and like dwarf sounds dorky to me. Not that, our whole vibe is not dorky. That's like our brand. But like, the difference to me is like if you say like, oh, you're in the dwarven city of whatever, and you got like dwarven runes, and the dwarves are like all these epic, like powerful beings. It loses something when you're like, oh, let's go to the Dwarfen city and talk to the dwarfs.
But it's dwarven city.
Powerful and epic, and they have like they're miners and they build like great cities, and dwarfs are like they're crazy cousins.
Saying this, and I know you're referencing Lord of the Rings, but as you're describing the mining and building great cities, I'm just picturing the seven dwarves.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference. Gimli is a dwarf. The other ones in Snow White, those are dwarfs. There's a very distinct difference.
Okay. Well, just know whenever I say dwarf, I'm talking about the seven dwarfs.
So anyway, for context, I was telling Kassi this, that...
No, I'm sorry. I want to say it. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
He proceeds to tell me that I say this word wrong. Fine. Okay. But then he proceeds to go on further that he intentionally, when we play Dungeons and Dragons, intentionally does not have us interact with any of these creatures or go to any of their cities because he doesn't want to have to hear me say the word.
Yeah, because it bothers me. And I was like, I could say something about it, but like most people don't like being told that they pronounce something wrong because I don't know, it comes across as kind of rude. So I'm like, rather than doing that.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
People
no.
don't like being told they're saying something wrong because it seems rude.
Hold on.
Okay.
Wait, no.
Okay.
The difference is that we are recording it for a podcast. So it's not just me that looks like an idiot in context of me and like friends. It's me and an idiot that in context of other people.
And that's what I said. It was when I thought about it after the fact that I was like, ooh, that was for the podcast. I probably should have corrected Eric. And that's when I apologized.
See, I'm not going to say, oh, you pronounce it Dorf and that's stupid and you're going to sound like an idiot if it's just like us that are playing D&D and our group. I'm not going to bother with that. But I am going to intentionally design the campaign such that we never interact with dwarves so that you don't have to be like, oh, I was talking to this dwarf earlier.
Hey, can I ask you, because I'm sorry. I just can't believe that you went out of your way to not have me say the word.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's insane to me that you would go so far out of your way just to not hear me say a single word. How about you just say, Kassi, don't refer to these creatures. Thanks.
Don't refer to them ever. You know what I should have done? The way I should have revealed it to you is I should have like pointed out that you say it wrong, is I should have had you encounter a dwarf, and then when you call them a dwarf, had them get offended because that's like a slur in their culture. And if you don't pronounce it correctly, they're going to get mad at you.
You could have, and I'm in love with you right now. I understand what you're saying, that I say it wrong. I understand what you're saying. I don't hear it, but I understand.
You don't hear a difference?
I don't hear it, but I understand what you're saying. Like, I believe you that I'm saying
you don't hear a
wrong.
difference. Okay. You don't hear a difference between Dorf and dwarf?
When I say it, no, I don't hear a difference.
Say dwarf with a W, like emphasize the W.
I can't.
Say it again.
I can't do it.
Versus Dorf. Dorf or dwarf? Okay, say wharf like you're on like the ocean side, like wharf. Yeah, the wharf. Like you're going to the wharf.
The wharf. I'm gonna start.
Yeah, it's dwarf.
That now.
It's like
just for you.
Okay, so can you say sword with a W? Can you say like sword?
Sword.
Why'd you make it like Boston? You're like sword. Sword. You do it again, but without the accent.
I can't do it.
You can't say sword?
I don't know.
Do you need to go to speech therapy?
Nah. I'm too old for that. No one cares.
I care, clearly.
Yeah, but you're weird. You care about things that you should just really let go.
No, I care about specificity and accuracy in some things, but not other things.
Yeah.
And that's not weird, and there's definitely a reason for it. That's not a weird reason.
Well, I noticed something when I was editing episode 11 of our podcast. I say Legolas weird.
You do, but I actually think you're correct. Correct. I think you're correct because I say Legolas, and I think the correct pronunciation is actually like Legolas.
Yeah. I noticed that when I said it, I'm like, why did I say it like that? And then I just realized that's just how I say it.
But
I don't know. It sounded wrong to me. See, this is what I'm saying. Because even when I heard myself say it, to me it sounded wrong. But when I'm saying it, I can't hear it any other way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So can I go on a Lord of the Rings tangent real quick? Okay. So I recently, not by choice, watched through all of The Hobbit and all of the Lord of the Rings movies. And by recently, I mean like within the last like 2 weeks.
And did you do this consecutively?
Yeah, it was in 2 days, so 2 marathons. Now, when I say not by choice, it was sort of by choice. So my girlfriend and one of her friends like to marathon Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit every year. And for me, and she knows this because I told her this, I was like, for me, that's a lot of Lord of the Rings. I'm like, Lord of the Rings is like a once every 3 years thing for me. Mm-hmm. But I was like, she wanted to do it. So I was like, okay, I'll come with you guys. We'll watch it. We actually had it at my house, and it's like, I'll watch the movies. I'll do that, right? So the whole pronunciation thing, right? Because like she pronounces all the things correctly, the correct pronunciations. I do what I've always done, which is not actually the correct way to pronounce it.
Oh my goodness, because she'd never hear the end of it.
Wait, if it were the other way around, you mean?
Yeah, if she didn't say things correctly, she'd never hear the end of
it. But what
I
found interesting is that like even within the movie, they don't pronounce things consistently.
It's almost like people don't pronounce things consistently.
The one that I think of as an example is like one of the kingdoms in the movie, Rohan, right? I pronounce it Rohan. Mm-hmm. Half the characters in the movie pronounce it Rohan, and I'm like, but why? Yeah. But I guess that's the same thing as Star Wars, right? Where like it's Han Solo, everyone calls it Han Solo except Lando, who calls him Han. So,
but I mean, as someone whose name is Kassi and gets called Casey a lot, I understand.
I thought your name was Casey.
People make those mistakes.
I thought your name was Casey.
So at the beginning when you said hi, Cassie.
I was literally just thinking, I'm like, can you imagine if we scripted out this episode so that I could have introduced by saying, hi, Casey, instead, so the joke would have called back to it?
We could go back and edit.
Yeah, just edit it to where it's like, hi, Casey, instead. That would have been so funny.
But I want it to be clearly just Casey is different. Like the hi is for your original one. And then just
Speaking of, we did not, because when I re-listened to episode 11 recently as well, there was a section in there where we joked about editing something in. Clearly you did not do that.
No. I
also,
what was the joke? I don't remember this. And I know that's sad because I just edited that episode, but I don't remember what you're talking about.
Also, you're going to have to put so many pictures up on our Instagram, which is, what is it? At something?
We are Not Really Friends.pod on Instagram and Not Really Friends podcast.
Yeah, you have so many pictures to put up for that episode.
So many. Yeah, I have them all ready to go.
Because we talked about so many things that we specifically mentioned you're going to put pictures up for. So hopefully we won't do any for this episode, so then you don't have to worry about it. There'll be no reason for you to go check out our Instagram. Oh, we should actually mention, you know what? We need to mention something so they have to go check out Instagram.
If you want to go back, there was still a poll of who did the best jack-o'-lantern. Feel free to still answer that, even though we're nowhere near October anymore.
That's true. Is it still live?
I think so. On YouTube.
Huh.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you know what's terrible is I'm not actually, which I know is actually sort of a trend, but I'm not actually subscribed, I don't think, to the YouTube channel. I don't know if it comes up because I don't remember seeing the poll.
Oh, well, I hate to tell you that I'm winning.
Are you? So. Well, that's because it's probably only one person that voted, and obviously they're on your side.
Not important. Maybe it was my husband that voted for me. Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it was your sister. Or both. And they both would have voted for you. So, I mean, the point still stands.
No, because why would she vote for her own pumpkin?
Oh, she was hers in there too?
I don't know if we mentioned that we carved pumpkins with my sister and your girlfriend. So there were 4 pumpkins to pick from.
Where's this? I'm literally looking at YouTube. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Ha, now you're not winning because I voted.
Okay.
So now if you want to change that, listeners, you need to go and vote.
Yeah.
I have to ask before it gets too far away from Christmas time.
Yes.
in our little thing that we have for like ideas, you have a thing that just says Christmas maze.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about this because I went with my husband's family. We went and did, it was like a little Christmas, I don't know what you would call it.
Is this the same?
But they
Wait,
had,
hold on.
like
Caveat. Is
yeah.
this the same place where you saw the alpacas?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
For context,
Okay. That's a whole
we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a
story.
minute. Yeah, continue the maze.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me just set the scene. So it's this place. It's like in the woods. It's really cute. They have buildings and stuff set up. They have a Christmas light hayride that you can do, and they have like just different Christmas lights set up in the forest that you can look at. They have fire pits, and you can do s'mores, and they have hot chocolate and cider. They had a petting zoo, and
Except you couldn't actually pet the alpacas because they were hiding.
Well, yeah, it was. We went kind of at in the evening at night, so it was dark. It was cold. The animals were probably less excited at this point. But I have always wanted to see and pet an alpaca. I've seen llamas and I've pet llamas. I wanted to see and pet an alpaca. So Eric just got a random picture of me smiling so excitedly with an alpaca behind me.
Yeah, because you said you'd never seen one before, and this was like probably a year or two ago when you first told me that, and I was like, really? I had neighbors that had alpacas like growing up, not literally neighbors, but like nearby. So I saw them all the time.
I mean, I know they're around, and like I said, seen llamas, never seen an alpaca.
So yeah, you were
adorable.
so excited.
So excited. Poor Trey had to stand there with me while I just was so. I mean, he likes seeing the alpacas too, but I think after a little bit, he's like, okay, it's cold, you know.
He didn't understand the hype. He's not like alpaca hype.
Yeah. He was kind of like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I didn't ask him. I'll have to ask him if he's seen an alpaca before that, or if that also.
That was his first alpaca sighting.
First time. Yeah, we both got to see alpacas together. That would be very nice. I would love that. But anyway, they had a Christmas maze. And when Trey and I went into this maze with our nephew, we were like, is it going to be a maze or is it going to be a Christmas path?
Yeah. Was it a maze or was it a path?
It was actually a maze. You would come to intersections. You had to decide which way you wanted to go. There were dead ends. There were areas that looped you around in a circle.
Nice. Yeah.
It was an actual maze. And we also let my, 6-year-old nephew lead us. So it was a long maze. For the
You're like, it takes about 3 minutes to get through normally if you know the path, and we were in there for hours.
Yeah, we weren't in there that long, but it was cute because we got to the end and then he just wanted to turn around and do the maze backwards. We're just like, no, we're done now.
So what made it Christmas? What made it a Christmas maze?
So it was made up of pallets. Like the walls were pallets, and they had Christmas lights up. At some of the dead ends, there would be like a Christmas tree or a Grinch or something like that. Or, those lights that you put in your yard that look like presents, stuff like that. Or
but there weren't real presents. They should have hid real presents throughout that you could have gotten if you found one.
That would have been cool.
You get to keep it, really take it home, open it up, and reveal that you got leg warmers. I don't know why that's the first thing I thought of, but
yeah, that's true. I don't know what they would have given you because you don't want it to be anything perishable. So,
no, you only put perishable things in it. It's like, we got a rotten tomato.
You're like, I expected someone to find that last week. I'm sorry.
I found only a rotten tomato. Well, that's because they put it in the maze and then they couldn't find it later. They're like, I don't know I can't keep going and trying to find it, but I just get lost in there.
They're like, I just keep going in circles. I don't know what it is. Yeah, so I just wanted to tell you that there really are mazes out there. They don't have to just be paths.
I mean, I believed that there were real mazes out there. Just because the one you went to in the fall was a path does not mean that it's not like the concept of mazes just suddenly became like a myth where I'm like, they've lied to us my entire life. I grew up with those little mazes, but turns out they're all just paths. It's all been laid out from the start.
I'm glad that you're you don't have to see it to believe it person. That's nice.
No. That's why I believe that you are capable of better things than this. I haven't seen it, but I like to believe it.
What is this exactly? Like this podcast or this life I've chosen?
Maybe. Honestly, maybe. But I was more referring to this as in like your life as a whole.
I don't know.
Like the state in which you choose to live, you're capable of better than that.
I don't know. I think we're doing okay. All things considered.
I mean, that's what you say, but... yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Seems like an awfully stressy version of a life if that's where you choose to be.
I'm fine.
Well, not now.
I feel like I had a story from I was gonna say when we were at this Christmas thing, they had the different fire pits, right? And there's this family next to us,
Yeah.
and they had a little girl, and she was just, she's like a toddler. She's upset about something, who knows, right? And the mom's just sort of like, okay, you can cry it out, like whatever, So she's just like laying on the ground crying. And then this little boy from a different fire pit near us walks over and is just like so concerned about this little girl. And it's like, oh no, like what's wrong? And he's like trying to help her. And then his parents are like, that's not your baby. Like, I don't know. They're just going to like kidnap or something.
I don't know. I mean, unless there's a level of like he's being disruptive or
yeah,
problematic in some ways with like trying to be like in the way
I'm
with trying to be
guessing-
helpful. I, as a parent, would not discourage that because I would never want to discourage a level of empathy
I
in my
don't know
kids.
if it was just because he was kind of wandering off, or maybe I kind of got the impression that they noticed the mom was like, you're just going to cry it out. So maybe they were trying to keep their son from, you know what I mean, interfering with the parental decisions. I don't know, whatever, right? But they're just like, yeah, that's not your baby. And so they followed him over there. And then, so now it's this kid and his parents talking to this little girl who's crying. So now this other mom who initially was letting her kid cry is like, well, now I have to come over and be involved because I can't just have strangers talking to my kid.
You're like, now I gotta be involved because like I decided to ignore it, but now they're not ignoring it. So now it's a whole thing.
If I ignore it when they're not ignoring it.
Oh man, I guess I have to parent my kid.
Yeah, it was just really funny because it was this like awkward thing where, yeah, like she's just like, well, I was gonna just let her cry it out, but now that you guys are over there, I guess I have to come over here.
I mean, so I know we've talked about this before. No, I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast, but it just makes me again think about that idea of like, how many things do you think you've done in your life that became a story that even just once was relevant to someone else? Like some random stranger got home and was like, you're never going to believe what I saw at the store today.
I hope a lot. And I hope if they have a story, it's something funny that happened that then they laugh about. I hope it's not.
I really hope. And I don't know why, but I really hope. I hope something that like to me it was complete like just a one-off forgot about it story is the one that they laugh about to this day. Because I think that'd be hilarious.
That's what I want. I want someone to laugh about it. I don't want someone to be
and
like,
then can you
oh, so I saw something at the store today. I tell you, right? Like,
it's like you're never gonna believe when I saw the story. Oof. I saw somebody and I was like, why would you choose to wear that?
You should have heard what they said, right? Like, I don't know. I just hope it's nothing terrible. I hope any random story people continue to tell about me from a chance encounter at the store is something they laugh about.
Not something they cringe about and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm glad I'm not that person.
I feel like I probably have a few instances that happened. I can think of instances off the top of my head that I think that happened. So
what was the cringe moment?
No, where like I said something and then someone nearby me in an aisle laughed. And I was just like, they're forever going to mention this story.
Yeah. I don't know if I know of any specifically where someone else just like burst out laughing because of something that I said or I did, where it was like a random stranger that was clearly like overhearing or like listening.
Trey and I have some pretty ridiculous conversations, like very similar to you and I, but like we'll just sort of be being silly and just say stupid things, like just to make the other person laugh. And then it catches us off guard when a random stranger laughs. And we're like, oh, yeah, you were listening.
You're like, oh, right. There are other people that can hear our conversations. Oh, maybe I should think about that.
Don't even have you on speakerphone.
Speaking of speakerphone, can I for a moment talk about the absurdity and wildness it is that there are people that just walk through like a grocery store just on speakerphone? Yes. That's crazy to me.
Drives me nuts. Or people play their audio just like out loud, you know?
Honestly, like it doesn't bother me from a standpoint of like I'm annoyed by it. I just find it like brave. I'm like, that's crazy. Like I'm way too private of person to be like walking through the store with just having a conversation with someone on speakerphone. Like that's so weird to me.
I think it's kind of rude just because people are much louder on the phone. Like when you're talking to someone on speakerphone, you speak at a louder volume than if you were standing next to the person. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. You do.
So it's just kind of one of those things where I'm like, I am also just trying to shop and I don't want to hear about whatever it is you guys are talking about. Sometimes it's awful, but sometimes if I'm in a mood and I'm standing next to somebody and like they're on speakerphone for like a long time, right? If they're just like passing by or, hey, let me call this person real quick. But there's like one time this lady was on speakerphone and she's like, what flavor ice cream do you want? No, I don't want that. And it's like they're going back and forth, right, for a long time. And then I was just like, I don't know, maybe cookies and cream would be good. That seems like a good compromise. And then she looked at me like appalled. And I was like, lady, you're not even at the other end of the aisle. You're standing like right next to me. Like people might think we're shopping together. Like,
Yeah.
just put the phone to your ear.
I haven't done that all that many times. I've never done that kind of thing all that many times. We just interject in a random stranger's conversation.
Yeah, that was like the
But I
only time
have
I
a
was
couple
like,
times.
lady.
And most of the time, the person looks at you like you're crazy and you're like, you were talking right there. I'm right next to you. It's not that weird.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if they're like a little ways away from you on speakerphone or that kind of thing, that's different. But sometimes people they'll stand like half a person away from you and you're just like, do I know you? Why are you standing so close? And then they're on speakerphone.
Well, it's always funny because when I do it, like the one or two times I've done something like that where someone's talking and then they're like saying whatever, and then you just interject. And then they look at you like you're the crazy one and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have interjected. But then you're like, but it's like they forgot for a second that like conversations are spoken out loud.
Yeah. And my thing is that I find crazy is I find speakerphone harder to hear on than holding the phone to my ear. And you're holding the phone either way in your hand. So I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah.
Right. It's weird.
Well, okay. So one of the differences, I know there's like that whole thing from like a health movement of the like, well, phones put off all kinds of signals and radiation. So holding it by your head is not good for your brain. And you're like, listen, I live on Earth in the generation I live in. Being alive is not good for my body.
I mean, them
so
your phone out is now putting it closer to my head. So I guess they're just saving themselves.
Like I get like I'm not going to go out and intentionally like start like inhaling all the chemicals that say don't inhale these chemicals because they're toxic. There's a level of intentionally like being aware of the toxic things and not intentionally doing toxic things more. But at the same point, there is a level of I personally am not the kind of person that's going to be like actively trying to avoid everything that's quote unquote toxic. Yeah. Being alive, there's so many chemicals out these days. It's like being alive and just living in your normal house. There's probably you're surrounded by quote unquote toxic chemicals.
I hope so.
And it's like, I'm not going to do more, especially the particularly aggressive ones, but I'm not going to also like not hold a phone to the side of my head because it might be irradiating my brain.
We laughed about this because this last summer, there was an insane amount of black widows, right?
Yeah.
I hate spiders anyway.
Like they made a movie and no, that wasn't last year. I'm kidding.
But I hate spiders anyway. And so it's just like me and my sister were kind of talking about how, yeah, it's like you just gotta get the chemicals and kill the spiders, right? My dad was just really like, you guys need to quit using so many chemicals. And I was like, well, I'm going to keep using the chemicals because they kill the spiders. And if I die in the process, well, there we are.
You were like, you know what? At least I'm using chemicals and not fire.
That's true. Because, man, when I found that one, I was tempted to burn the house down. It was very tempting. But yeah, it was just funny because we were just like, our dad's like, oh my gosh. So, okay. I was laughing about this the other day at the store with my sister because I like to buy the peanut butter, the like natural peanut butter that you have to stir and the oil separates and it's annoying, but it's delicious. And so
peanut butter as a default is tangent. Sorry, not to interrupt you, but tangent. No, I don't understand the natural peanut butter thing from a flavor standpoint because to me they taste the same.
Oh, really?
That's it. That's my two cents.
That's crazy.
Anyway.
I will say, the only thing I'll say is that I always buy where it's just peanuts and salt. That's all that's in it. And one time I did a pickup order and they gave me like Jif or something. And it did taste different to me. It tasted like fake peanut butter. It tasted like really sugary and stuff. And I was like,
to be fair, I don't know if I've ever actually tried them side by side and done a comparison, but I feel like they taste basically the same.
Yeah, like I hadn't either. To be honest, it was just I've gone many years eating just the peanut butter, and then so when I got whatever it was, like I would say like a more normal peanut butter or whatever, it was like shocking to me that it was so, because I was like, oh, it's not what I wanted, but whatever, it's fine. And then when I ate it, I was like, this is different. I don't like this.
Trey has also said multiple times that your sense of taste is completely broken now.
No, and but that's, I mean, okay, and that's where I was going with this, is because like, so they talk about like in our foods or like
In our foods.
I don't know.
They talk about in our foods. They say like, well, if you're eating your foods, you got a lot of chemicals in your foods.
If you eat your food, you get all the nutrients you need. No, but they say when you, in like all of our foods and stuff, that there's so many chemicals and sugars and whatever, right? And so you should try to eat like more whole natural foods, yada, yada, whatever. So anyway, I was like laughing with my sister because I have been buying this peanut butter for a long time. That's the peanut butter, like that's the taste I go for, whatever. But then I was like laughing because I told her, I was like, no, it has to be the one without all the extra stuff in it, just peanuts and salt, that's it. And then she finds it and hands it to me. I'm like, great, let's go get Oreos.
Yeah.
And I just start laughing.
Yeah, you're like
it's
sweet.
So funny
Well,
to me, the
okay,
idea
but
of,
like
I need the super healthy peanut butter. But anyway, let's go get some junk food.
what you're doing is the idea of choose your battles, right? It's like
Yeah,
you're
for
choosing
sure.
where, and it's like, don't get me wrong. I just want to make it clear. I'm not like against health stuff, being like trying to be healthy or trying to avoid like things that are not as good
And I
for
don't
you or
care,
whatever.
Just 'cause
I'm
get
just
the natural peanut butter or whatever. I'm not saying it's like better. It's just the taste I prefer.
yeah.
That's all.
I'm just saying like as far as even the chemicals things, it's like all I was saying is that it's like I don't think you should be paranoid to the point of going overboard on stuff where it's like, no, you still want to be able to function and just live a normal life without having to like freak out about what could be in this though. And it's like no, you just function as a normal person and don't like go overboard, but you should still be aware.
Everything in moderation.
Well, yeah, but it's also that idea of like if you have a given chemical, follow the instructions on the chemical. Like if you're supposed to use it in a ventilated area, use it in a ventilated area, right?
Yeah.
But at the same point, you don't need to be like, oh, I can never use this chemical because it has X, Y, and Z in it. It's like, yeah, but so does like everything that you're interacting with. Like your whole house probably, your walls, your paint probably has chemicals in it. So like,
I'd hope. I mean, not like I'd hope so, but I mean, like, I don't know.
I'd hope so.
I don't know what else.
You're like, I want incredibly chemical filled paint. If my paint is not 90% chemical, I don't want it.
I don't want it. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I see that you have the less chemical paint. Where's the good stuff?
Yeah, I looked at the ingredients and I actually know what 3 of these things are. Do you have one that I don't know what anything is?
I don't want to be able to pronounce a single word. Thank you.
I want to paint my walls with nothing but stuff that's completely synthetic. If there's even one thing in here that's natural, don't want it.
If I don't have a slight headache after painting this room, I'm going to be really upset with you.
I want my paint on my walls to outlast me, the house, and all of my neighbors.
Do you, sorry, we're talking about paint. Did you paint your house when you moved into it? Oh, you painted
I did
one
not,
wall.
but well, okay, I did.
Yeah.
I did not paint my house because my house that I am living in currently was my sister's house, and she bought it 6 years ago now. And she painted it when she bought it, and I didn't really feel the need to. Although I will say, disclaimer, this story's a little gross. I will say my sister has lots of dogs, and at least one of those, well, most of her dogs were indoor dogs, and at least one of those dogs had stomach issues. And at least one of the times I was taking care of her dogs before I moved in, her dog had, let's say, stomach issues. And I had to let her out from her crate, which was upstairs. And let's just say things got smeared down walls.
Gross.
Now that I think about it, maybe I should repaint the house.
Well, I hope someone cleaned the wall, right?
Well, okay. No, we've left it. It's decorative. No.
It's art.
The walls have been cleaned. No. But like, so it's terrible. But this was my mom's thing growing up where she didn't like cleaning walls. So instead of cleaning the walls, we would just repaint the house. Like if something specifically got on the wall, obviously you clean the wall, right? Like, but generally, rather than like the yearly, like wiping on their walls or whatever that you technically should do.
Yeah.
My mom would just repaint the walls in the house every like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, I also get it because I mean, she had 7 kids. So there's a level of like, you want to keep like, and it's honestly, you probably need to repair the walls periodically anyway. And our house was always in some state of disrepair because there was basically never a point where at least one of the rooms was not being remodeled. obviously, like, repaint the walls. We had the stuff around. It was easy. But that's why my brain goes to, like, instead of cleaning it, it's like, nah, just repaint the walls, cover it.
Well, I was wondering, yeah, because when we moved into our house, I painted the walls, and then I was laughing because I saw something that was like, oh, you should really repaint, freshen your paint every like 10 years or something like that. And I was like, what marketing genius came up with this?
I mean, how long has it been since you painted your walls? Because you moved in probably a while ago.
10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, you should repaint it. If nothing else, just make it fun and fresh, you know?
I know, but I like my wall colors. So.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
I've seen your house. The wall colors are terrible.
Whatever, it's so much fun. It changes color depending on the lighting. It's great.
That's called like sun damage, but okay.
Well, no, it's like as the day goes on, not like, oh, it's been sitting in sunlight and now it's a different color.
You know the terrible part is I made that joke and I literally cannot picture what color your walls are.
Exactly.
I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Best
if you
guess.
paid me.
Give me a best guess.
I want to say that the main like living room, kitchen, dining room area is like a dark-ish green or purple color.
Yeah. So that's what I love about it. It's like a medium to dark brown, but depending on the lighting, it has a purple or green hue to it.
Wait. So I was actually sort of right, just
you're
completely
actually
wrong.
Right. But yeah, because sometimes it looks sort of green, like more like a green color. Sometimes it looks more of a purpley color. Sometimes it just looks sort of like a dark tan kind of color. And I love it because then I'm like, I don't have to repaint. I'm not bored of this color.
So I have a story. I have a story to tell you on the topic of my mom and painting walls. That is so funny. Growing up, it was every time it happened, it was so funny. So my mom, like I said, would repaint the walls every 3 years or so, 2 or 3 years. Maybe more. It might be more often. It might be less often, but it feels like in my memory, it was about 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And so my mom always, every single time, my mom, growing up, the house was always like sort of an off-white color, right? The walls, all the walls were like an off-white color. And every single time it came around to pick colors, she'd be like, I want to pick a color that's slightly more tan this time because I like browns. So we're going to go with someone that's slightly more tan. And she'd go to the store. She'd look at all the paint swatches. She'd find one that's like, this is slightly more tan. She'd buy the color. We'd bring it home, paint the walls, and it would be the exact same color. If not, if it was different, it'd be like maybe a slightly different shade. Yeah. But it was like nearly identical color every time. So we'd give her such a hard time of like, is this one going to be more brown than last time? And it was like basically the exact same color for years. Until the most recent time that they painted it, which I will say it's been like it's actually probably been like at this point, like 7, 8 years, 10 years since we last painted that house.
Yeah.
But the last time they painted
doesn't have
it,
kids there anymore, ruining the walls. So.
Well, now she has grandkids.
Yeah, but they're perfect angels.
This time,
grandparents never see the things their grandkids do. They're just like those perfect angels. No.
I mean, yeah, sure. No, but like this time around, she actually did pick like legitimately dark browns and tans. So like there's a dark brown accent wall and then like a more of a brown tan color wall.
Yeah.
And it actually looks really nice. But we gave her such a hard time because like the first, I'd say 3, it probably is actually more like 5 years in hindsight, like that we'd paint it every 5 years or so. But whatever. The first like 4 or 5 times in my life that I remember the walls being painted, it was almost always the exact same color.
That's really funny.
And every time she's like, I'm going to pick a slightly more tan color.
I was laughing because it was something it was talking about houses that every like 90s kid grew up in or something. And it was talking about like the Tuscan kitchens and was it sponge painting the wall? So it'd have like the one color underneath, and then you take like a sponge and paint the darker color or a different color over the top of it, right? For like a textured look.
Yeah, see, I'm not a 90s kid. So, I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So.
But like you've seen it, right? And that's the thing is like everybody's house in the early 2000s was like that or whatever. It just made me laugh because that's definitely how our living room was. We had the sponge painting on the walls. Which that sounds weird.
It's one of those things. It's like one of those things where I think I was talking. Was this to you? I don't remember if it was you or someone else.
We were talking about how people all live the same lives, and it's weird.
Oh yeah. How like everyone thinks they have a unique experience, and you're like, really? There are elements of everyone's experience that's unique, but like there's so much that's just like universal stuff.
It's just the same. Yeah.
That's like everyone lives the same life. Every person is basically the same person. Well, I mean, obviously not, but like there are elements of it that are so weirdly, like almost weirdly coincidentally the same.
It's crazy sometimes when you're talking to somebody and you're like, wait, you had that experience too? I thought that was just me.
Yeah. Well, and that's the nature. That's why like observational comedy works so well, is because it's that universal experience that they're drawing on.
Yeah.
Of shared experience. But it's always funny to me when you have like when you realize, oh, there's universal experience, and then you bring something up that you thought was universal experience, and it turns out just you, and then you have this moment of like you sit there going, wow, am I crazy? Is it me?
What was the comedian you showed me? And he had a whole thing that was so funny about the popcorn kernel or this popcorn skin that gets like stuck on your tooth. And like,
yeah,
you just can't get it out.
Ivan Decker.
Yeah, he was really funny. But that one got me because I'm like, yeah, I think anyone who's ever eaten popcorn has had that experience.
Yeah, every single person.
I mean, it was the part where he's like, so you finally get the little piece of popcorn out from your teeth. Do you spit it out? Do you swallow it? No, you sit there and bite it into tiny little pieces.
Yeah, it's like, no, first you put it on the tip of your tongue and you proceed to give it a bunch of tiny little bites.
Tiny little bites.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. The whole like
because you want to be sure it's not going to get stuck in your tooth that time. You're like, now you're too tiny. You can't get stuck.
Yeah. Well, that's why. This is not necessarily true, but I just had this thought pop in my head where I was like, that's why if you ever feel alone, just watch like observational comedy, because I'm sure there's something there you're going to be like, oh, everybody experiences that.
And hopefully it'll give you a sense of humor about your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole, the whole like anytime anything happens and it's the whole laugh or cry thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's like all you can do is laugh or cry. I think I may or may not have taken the laugh option way too seriously.
I think I prefer it. I did the cry option for most of the beginning of my life. I cried. I was the kid that cried about everything. Everything that happened, I cried. I think the laugh option is better. Just gonna be honest about it.
Oh, I prefer it. But it does sometimes make you come across as a little bit of like a callous person or someone who like, I don't know, something weird, something like that. Because, it's like anytime anything bad happens, if your gut reaction is to laugh and or make dark jokes.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Then people are kind of weirded out.
Then people are like looking side-eye and you like, are you okay? And you're like, no, well, no, but also yes. But also this is just the way I process, okay?
Like, yeah, I'm going to be fine. Why? Are you okay?
Well, like, yeah. It's,
that's all.
It's why you have to, the worst part is there's nothing worse than being the person that makes jokes and cracks jokes at the inopportune moments, because that's how your brain processes stuff when you're surrounded by people that aren't that way and something happens. Because then you're like, if you do anything, they're going to look at you like you're a terrible person. You're like, I'm not trying to be. It's just like different methods of processing stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Cause like my family, it's not that we can't be sentimental or, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but yeah, we just tend to like kind of laugh about stuff more, or just it's like to say we're cynical about it is also not the right word, but yeah, it was like my mom one time was having like a hard time, and people are trying to be nice and they're like, oh, thinking of you, and like all these like really like more kind of gushy sentimental things, and she just texted me and was like, this isn't what I needed, and I was just like, I don't know, I made some joke or something, and she was just like, perfect, okay. Like that was it.
I just
because yeah, it's just sometimes you gotta laugh about it, can't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I don't like sympathy. I'm not a person that likes sympathy, and it's sort of the same side where it's just like, no, I would rather like crack jokes about it than like have sympathy in situations. And it's like, yeah, but that's so opposite to I think the normal person. I feel like at least most people that like, I feel like a lot of people I interact with at like work and other things are that's opposite. So then like most people act like they want to give sympathy, and you're like, but sympathy is just it. I don't know. In my opinion, and I don't know if this is necessarily true, but in my opinion, unless they're specifically like family members or really close friends, 90% of the time, sympathy just feels awkward.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Do you think people want to give sympathy, or do you think people feel like they should give sympathy? Because it's like
I don't know. I would probably say that nobody actually likes being sympathetic. because like I think even from the sympathier, even from the sympathier,
nobody likes to be sympathetic, or nobody likes to have like what sort of.
I don't think the average person likes being sympathetic. Like being empathetic and being like empathetic to other people's feelings is one thing, but like offering sympathy, I wouldn't be surprised if most people don't like offering sympathy, because I wouldn't be surprised if everyone feels awkward in that exchange.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not someone that you're close with.
Yeah. I have no comments. Well said.
Because you agree, right? You agree?
I agree. I think it's really awkward. I don't know what to say. I don't know what they want to hear. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have those people that try to say something or try to like feel like they have to say something to do something. So then they're like, you're making it weirder because then you're acting like you feel obligated, but you don't know what to say. And then I don't know how to react because that was weird. So that it's just this whole like awkward sandwich.
It's a vicious cycle where it's just like, let me say nice thing. Let me return nice thing. Like, yeah, it's awful. I hate it.
It becomes just like I said, it comes like this awkward blend. It's like a smoothie of awkwardness that's just all mixing together into this like strange, uncomfortable situation.
That's the greatest thing about an NRF. An NRF is the person that won't even fake sympathy.
Exactly.
And they're just gonna come in and
in fact,
be mean.
Based on historical evidence, I'm more likely to, if something terrible happens to you, I'm more likely to make a joke or ridicule you for it.
Yeah. And I think if you were nice about it, I would think maybe you had something to do with it and guilt was getting you.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. You're like, why? What do you know?
Why? What did you do? What involvement do you have with
this? That's like, I don't know if I've told you this before, but one of my all-time favorite jokes I've ever seen was, I'm sorry and my bad mean the same thing unless you're at a funeral.
Yeah. Yeah, you did tell me that. I was like, that's pretty much how I feel about if you were being nice to me or like sympathetic, I would be like, what did you do?
Not to mention, now I kind of just thinking about that just now, I'm like, now you know how funny it'd be to just always answer my bad when someone's complaining about something. Like no matter what they're complaining about, you're like, oh, my bad. And then they're just like, wait, did you do it?
Like someone's like, I got a flat tire on the way to work. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
What? You weren't even there.
Somehow subtly implied it's all your fault. They're like, I got a flat tire. It's like, oh yeah, my bad. It's like, oh man, my house burnt down. That's like, it's so tragic. And you're like, oh, my bad.
So if I can circle back around to being sympathetic, do you think correcting someone?
Wait, which side is the sympathy on?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. How does that fall? If you correct somebody, are you being sympathetic to that they don't know?
I think it depends on how you correct them, right? Like if they're saying something stupid and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't want to like make you feel like an idiot, but you're saying that wrong. Like that's sympathetic. If you just said moron, it's pronounced this way. That's not sympathetic. Are you making fun of them? Did I say it weird? I just said moron.
I was joking that like you said moron and I'm like, no, it's moron. You idiot.
Moron. It's not pronounced dingbat. It's pronounced dingbat.
You're such a fool.
It's not pronounced fool. It's pronounced fuel. Fuel.
Like, where do all those extra letters come from? It's not important.
So I was thinking about this as a thing we could talk about. Mm-hmm. Completely unrelated tangent. 180 hard left squeal of tires like around the corner. Mm-hmm. So anyway, earlier I made some invented an idiom, a metaphor, I guess. And because it was like we were talking about like the responses when someone says like, how's it going or what's up kind of thing. Because you said you were listening to some other podcast. And I made the joke about like they're like, how's it going? And you're like, oh, it's like I'm like a possum in a construction zone.
I think it's great.
And then I was like, we should try to come up with other idioms. Because I'm like, that one's great. That one, I feel like that one's perfect for like that. It's just like I'm living life like a possum in a construction zone. And like the best part about it is I love that isn't like your brain goes, what does that mean?
I thought that was a great one. I think we should try to come up with other ones, but I think like a possum in a construction zone, it's just really good for any situation, How's your day going? Like a possum in a construction zone, it's perfect.
Well, it's perfect because it's like, it's just weird enough, but also just believable enough situation that it like works. But then it's also one of those ones where like, it almost feels like you know what it means, but you don't really know what it means, I think.
I kind of want to try to use it in like every situation. Like, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. It's just I'm feeling like a possum in construction zone. You know?
See, it doesn't really, I don't think it makes sense in that context.
I want to use it in ways that make no sense.
But I feel like possum in a construction zone makes sense in some context.
I think it does.
But that
For how
one,
your day's going, I think it's perfect. Like I said, when you told me that, I was like, yeah, because either I'm freaking out and I might claw your face off, or I'm just trying to make it so you don't notice me. One or the other, you know?
it's sort of like a level of, in my brain, it's like a level of the so overwhelmed you can't even react the way you normally react or something. I don't know.
And there's danger coming from all directions. You don't know where to go.
Now I'm trying to think of like, because you said the whole where do you want to eat and just like you don't know, and I'm trying to think of a phrase for that that's something to do with like too many options, and all I can think of is some sort of thing like a bird at a buffet, but like somewhere that would not, like an aquarium. Like you could say like the, I can't decide because I feel like a heron at SeaWorld or something like that.
I was thinking I feel like a seagull at a pier or a boardwalk.
I mean, that's the normal zone. You need somewhere where there's too much.
Too much.
Like I said, you could be a seagull at a SeaWorld.
I like the idea that if you just want someone to pick somewhere, you're like, I don't know, man. We're just Yogi Bear and Jellystone Park. Like, just pick a basket.
Wait, what?
We're just Yogi Bear and Jellystone Park. Just pick a basket.
No. I heard what you said. I don't understand what you said.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you want someone to just, like, they want you to just pick somewhere to eat, but you're like, I don't care, just pick somewhere. Like, let's just go. Like, pick a basket. Or do you not know who Yogi Bear is? You know where Jellystone Park is?
I mean, I know who Yogi Bear is, but I've never actually seen anything with Yogi Bear.
Okay, well, Yogi Bear lives in Jellystone Park, and he just nabs picnic baskets.
So when you say I'm just like Yogi Bear in Jellystone Park, you're saying
I don't care what's in the basket. I just want to pick something.
You're just saying I'll eat anything.
Yeah, you get it.
You said eat anything, and all I could think of was something along the lines of like some monster movie where you're like, it's like where they're like, where do you want to eat? And you're like, I don't know. I'm just feeling like an alien chasing Sigourney Weaver or something. I don't know. Right? It's like, I'll eat anything. I don't care. I'll just eat whatever's in front of me.
I feel like alien on a ship. Just eat anything that's moving.
I'm a bit like a sarlacc right now. My mouth is just a yawning pit waiting for food.
Because we always end talking about movies.
Do we? Okay, hold on. I don't think we actually do we?
Oh, no. What do you know? It's just funny now that we're referencing movies.
Okay, true. But I will say, in that episode, we actually didn't, because we tangented off of the movie before it ended.
We did indeed. We did. But
also, I love on the topic of that what you did in that episode. If you don't know, listen to episode 11. I think
I don't know, so please tell me.
I love the trope, like not really a trope, but like it is kind of a trope. I guess it's like, what is it? A meme, but it's like a meme in person. It's like a dialogue meme, like a joke, okay. I guess. I don't know, running joke. A bit. Let's call it a bit. I love the bit of like implying that you always do things that you don't or something.
Always.
It's kind of funny. Where like when you said in that one of the like, since we always end on like talking about movies or a movie or something, it's like, wait, but you don't though.
But you don't. Yeah, but now people don't know for sure, and everyone's gonna have to go back, including us, and listen to all our episodes again just to figure out if we always end talking.
Yeah, it's intentional, because what we're doing is we're forcing them to verify it by listening to every single episode.
And don't cheat and skip to the end. Cheaters never win.
I do want to say, actually, because we talked about last paging very briefly in the episode 11, which was actually not last week, so that would have been like 4 weeks ago. And in that episode, I have to come clean, right? In that episode, I presented as last paging as, oh, why would you do that? You're a horrible person. I am very guilty of that.
The scandal.
I know, right? Cancel me now. Cancel me now. I'm a last pager.
And you're
although actually, I will say,
like a purist when it comes to your books and stuff. I just cannot.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. In my defense. Here's what I'm going to lay out as my evidence for my defense. Mm-hmm. One is that I'm not actually a last pager. I am a last sentencer. I really like, I think it's fun to go into a book and like flip to the last and read like the last full sentence. Because I feel like what happens there for me and my brain is it's kind of fun because it gives you like an idea without often telling you literally what happens at the end of the book.
Yeah. I think I read the end of a book once, like the last word, like last sentence or last page. I don't know. It's just, no, I know what you mean. Like it can be fun, but I mean,
And like I've said before, I don't mind spoilers. Like I don't care if something gets spoiled
Yeah.
for me. To me, often spoilers, instead of being a spoiler, it turns less from a spoiler into something to anticipate if it's something cool.
you know what it is? It's just those movies that when you start watching them, it plays out a scene and then it goes, wait, let's go back. And then it starts the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you end there.
And actually,
yeah, it's kind of the same concept.
I also my next point of defense is that at least I come by it honestly because my mom is notoriously a last, not even last pager. She's a last chapter.
The whole chapter?
She will read the entire
That's
last chapter.
wild. That is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it's I don't know exactly why. I'd have to ask her why, but I think it's because she's like, I want to, like, I don't have a lot of time to necessarily read a book. I want to make sure that there's a reason to read the book first.
Yeah, but
like, is this going to be a good ending?
Without the context and the character development and all that kind of stuff, you don't need that. Doesn't mean anything.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
But by that logic, then a last chapter is just like watching the trailer for the movie because then you're like, I don't know exactly how they get there. I just know what happens.
If you're watching a trailer and they give you the end of the movie, then yeah, you don't need to watch the whole movie.
No, but can we talk about movie trailers right now, though? From the standpoint of like, what is it with that trend? And I feel like it's slowly getting away from that. But they're like a couple years ago, like I feel like 21 to 23, it was really bad, where every movie trailer coming out would just literally tell you the entire plot.
Yes, it would like they'd be like 5-minute trailers, and I'm like, you don't need this long of a trailer. Make it short.
Well, even if they were short, even if they were like 3-minute trailers, they'd be like in the trailer, you'd have like intro setting, then like drama, then drama, then drama. Then it'd like show you the ending too, and like all the best jokes. And you're like, I don't need to watch the movie. I've seen the movie in a truncated form.
Like so many things. That's we laughed because if you watch the trailer to Castaway, apparently in the trailer, the guy's like, yeah, we thought you were lost forever. We'd never find you again. And then we found you on that island. And so you're like, wait, so in the trailer, they tell you he gets off the island? Like, what is that about?
It's like, who decided to let the author of Spark Notes direct movie trailers?
Right? Like, who thought this was a good idea? You know, who's like, let's just give the whole story away. And I mean, you like spoilers, so that explains why you probably were really into those trailers, though.
No.
You hate them.
I don't like spoilers. I don't dislike them either. I'm very neutral on spoilers.
I hate spoilers. I don't want things to be spoiled. I want to enjoy them as they are.
Hey, Kassi, did you know in the Titanic movie, the boat sinks?
What?
Yeah, the boat sinks. Leonardo DiCaprio dies.
Why are you like this? You know, this is why we're not really friends.